Hello everyone, and welcome back to another tier list video. And before we start the tier list, we have a disclaimer. We are not taking chips or bytes into consideration. I have made this PowerPoint to explain why. So first, let's start with the fretless theorem, and don't worry, this is only going to take a minute, and I will put a timestamp in the comments to skip right over to the tier list if you don't want to listen to this. Okay, so anyway, so the reason why this is called the end of life theorem is because we're using these two characters because they have two things in common. Um, um, they have two key moves, which are Neon Wall and Mimic Ball. And the other and their other moves either range from average or downright bad. So yeah, uh, there's that. Uh, So 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 these characters are good, right? They secure um, um, high tier placements just because they have like high moves. They have really good moves, like some of the best in the game. While um, well in a specific tier list um probably, but if we start taking chips into consideration here's of where things get a bit dicey. There are chips called Auto Shield and Auto Mimic. These basically do what a Neon Wall and Mimic Ball can do, but the effects are permanent. This in contrast to Endoplush and Frigger having to like constantly stuff with moves every turn because it's temporary if you just use the move instead of the chips. So um, um so so since the chips make the effects permanent, but the moves themselves are basically never used. Um, 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 so um people can make the arguments with that 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 since there's no reason to actually use Mimic Ball and Wall over the chips, that those moves respectively are useless, and that they should be be placed in a low tier because their other moves are either average or bad. Um, 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 and this argument can also be applied to other characters as well, like Endo one, because while Endo one does have the Endo army, which is a really good move on its own. He also has Power Song and Armor Song, well, which respectively gives you power and defense. But there are also chips which basically just make those effects permanent. So what's even the point of running an O1 for that purpose? Again, Endo Endo Army is good, but let's pretend that doesn't exist at the moment. Okay, so then there's for Phantom Freddy. Phantom Freddy, basically his entire moveset is basically debuffs. So he's basically like the debuff guy, but but there's a chip called Curse Stats, which basically just does all of those debuffs on the enemy immediately. They are temporary, but they do it immediately. In contrast to Van Frey, who has to constantly apply them after a couple turns. So what's the point of using Van Frey when you can just use a chip that just automatically applies all of them? Then we have Unscrew to Unscrew and Escape Key. Okay, so you probably like seen a bunch of content creators like use unscrew 2 on bosses and stuff, um, um, and on casual enemies. They're basically like instant kills. So basically, unscrew 2 50% chance. Escape key basically can has a chance to kill multiple enemies at once. However, then we get to the Reapers. Basically, they do um, um, what unscrew and unscrew two can do, like kill a single enemy in one shot. They have a chance to, um, um, but they do it passively instead of having to actively click the move. So what's the point of running unscrew two and escape key if you can just basically just run the Reapers who do it passively for you? Again, you can make the argument, well, that you're more likely to kill an enemy in one go, and a boss in one go if you run all of them, which is fair. But um, well, but again, you can undermine a bunch of unscrew users with Bonnie, and then we get to healing. Like you can use Funtime, Foxy, Chica, and Toy Chica and other healers for healing, but there are healing bites and auto regen chip. So um so um, so you can make the argument that you don't really need that. Um, and also you can run a defense build as well, like auto shield, um, max defense. Um, um, I made an entire video of me running that set to literally take no damage um, from Cerulean. I will link it in the description or put an iCard up here. So basically, what the point is that if we take chips and bytes into consideration, then it can completely invalidate any sort of niche a character can have or any viability. Um, so um so if we don't count them, then we're giving them a fair shot. Um, but does this make any of them good? Well, most of them are still going to be like very bad, but you know um, um but um, 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 we're still getting we're still getting a fair shot. Okay, so after I was really interrupted, we are going to do this. Okay, so hopefully I figured out how to edit in my one my disclaimer. But yeah, I don't want to record it again, so I'm just going to pray that I'm going to be able to eventually edit it in. But if I'm not, then we'll just get it. Um, we'll just have to deal with it. Okay, anyway, let's start off with Freddy. I think Freddy is fairly decent. Um, I mean, he's got um, pizza wheel, which is okay. Oh yeah, I should also mention. So we are ranking these as as generals. So basically, like we're counting bosses and random encounters as well. So yeah, I'm actually think Freddy might be actually good actually because pizza wheel does decent damage to all of the enemies. And birthday is pretty decent. Um, 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 Might toss is awful, but anyway. Yeah, that's what what I say about Frey. He's surprisingly consistently good throughout the game, I think. Anyway, okay, Bonnie. Um, I think in the same tier as Frey. I mean, he basically, I mean, he is Bashan, which basically does the exact same thing as Pizza Wheel. And he has Happy Jam for healing, and he has Bite, which is way better than Mike Toss. But I'm not putting him in A because he's outclassed by a lot of others. Okay, so Chica, I'm gonna put in niche and mediocre. She's basically a hero. That's all she is. She has party favors. Um, um, well, which is a small amount of damage to the enemies I can heal you, but it's kind of bad. Um, 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 well, Region Song is terrible. And Cupcake is I mean, it's a decent healing move, um but but overall not that useful. Foxy, okay, Foxy is jump scare and a hot cheese, I believe. Wait a minute, let me check. Yeah, um, yeah, I was right. I have FNAF World open, so I can basically just check if I ever think I'm wrong. Okay, so hot cheese, jump scare and hook. Um, um, Hook is kind of mediocre, um, but but he does have hot cheese, which is good for passive damage, and jump scare, which is good for stunning enemies um, um, and maybe hindering bosses. So yeah, Toy Freddy. Toy Freddy is bad, but he has Speed Song. Um, so Mike Toss, Party Favors, and Speed Song. Yeah, he's pretty bad, but um, um, well, but he is carried by Speed Song because Speed Song is a bit underrated in my opinion because it allows your party to attack so fast. Um, um, okay, so Mike Toss terrible. Party Favor is terrible, but well, but he has Speed Song, which gives him a niche. He's um, 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 he's the only character apart from Endo O2 that isn't an update 2 character that has Speed Song. Um, well, but then again, if you want Speed Song, just use Endo O2 because he's like top 5 characters. Okay, anyway, Toy Bonnie, I believe Toy Bonnie has Munchies, um, 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 Poppers, and Bash Jam. Um, yeah, bad but not useless. Um, 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 Actually, no, I'll just put him in mediocre and easy because well, the chompers can do a bit, Bash Jam is a decent move, and Poppers, although it's um, um, yeah, actually, Poppers is kind of bad. What am I saying? I want to drop her in in E tier, but she has some low qualities I can't ignore, um, Water Hose 2 and um, 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 oh wait, no, Water Hose 1, Cupcake and Birthday. Well, Birthday is honestly what carries her. She's basically like just pure support. Um, um, Cupcake is decent, and Birthday is decent. Um, 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 a Warhose. I'm gonna be honest. I barely even used the Warhose moves, so yeah. Mangle. Oh my god. I'm putting Mangle in E. Bad but not useless because at least Poppers does some damage. At least Hook does some damage, um, and Mystery Box is worse than useless. Anyway, BB, yeah, I'm gonna quickly check BB's moveset again. Aha. Okay, so balloons, munchies, and hot cheese. Okay, so although I like BB, I'm gonna be honest, he's not really the best. Um, 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 did I even spell niche right? I probably didn't, but I don't care. Yeah, munchies are decent, um, 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 well, balloons do a um, um, decent amount of damage on a single um, um on a single um, enemy, and uh, uh and hot cheese is okay. Okay, JJ. Let me check your moveset again. Okay, unscrew poppers and balloons. So she has a one-hit KO move, and poppers is terrible, and she has balloons, basically in the same tier as BB, in my opinion. Okay, the puppet. I need to check his move pool again. Prize ball to a mystery box and escape key. Hmm. Um, 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 okay, so mystery box is awful. Okay, so prize ball 2 is kind of like a dice roll. And escape key is basically just pray that the enemies die. Um, yeah. Um, not the best, not the worst, but he is like kind of like a support character, more like Phantom Freddy. Hot take. I think he is actually pretty good because he can be incredibly useful in when you need to like debuff a boss, and enemies if they're like attacking too fast. Like I like using um, a lot early game, and he was surprisingly very good. Um, 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 I mean, I mean, not surprisingly, well, because I knew that he would, help me a lot. But um, um, yeah, Phantom BB. He's basically just a worse Phantom Freddy, but um, but debuffs, they can't be underestimated. Okay, so Phantom Chica. Let me check your moveset again because I can't remember. Toxic Bite, Sludge, and Unscrew. Okay, so Toxic Bite is decent. And Sludge is a good debuff move, and they have Unscrew. Uh, I'll put you decent there. Uh, okay, so Phantom Fox, I'm going to have to actually check that again. Jump Scare, Toxic Bite, and Unscrew. I think I'll put him in the good tier. Um, 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 okay, Jump Scare good. Toxic Bite, decent, um, and Unscrew, which if you want to gamble, a 3% chance, then yeah. Phantom Maniac, we're going to have to check this again. Toxic Bite, Mystery Box, and Pizza World 2. Okay, sorry, my throat's dry. Okay, so she has Pizza Wheel too, but Roger also has a mystery box, which kind of holds her back a bit, and Toxic Bite is just a decent move. Yeah, Phantom Puppet. I believe what the moves are: Jump Scare, a Jump Scare, Hot Cheese 2, and Mystery Box. So Mystery Box worse than useless, as I said, but Jump Scare is good, but it has Hot Cheese, which is Hot Cheese 2, which is decent but not amazing. Anyway, Withered Freddy, Mike Toss, awful. Um, um, Escape Key is very situational, um, 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 and some gloom song. Uh, I gonna be honest, the debuff is basically all that he has going for him. Um, because if it's very situational and you need to like whoop prey on RNG for escape key to work, and my toss is absolutely terrible. So with Rabani, I'll put him in B tier. He has Pizza Wheel, and he has Unscrewed 2, which is a good 50% chance move, and also has Iving, which is basically a chance to crit. Iving is in my opinion bad because it's only useful when it crits, um and it's yeah. Where Chica? I need to check again. Bite, Cupcake, and Prize Ball. I think she'll go in the decent tier. I think because um, um, Cupcake's a decent healing move. And Bite is not really that good. And and Prize Ball you can maybe gamble and get a good move. Actually, no, I think she's a bit niche. Um, because she's not doing much damage. Um, as no Prize Ball is basically just a gamble, and she's not really consistent. Okay, so uh, we're Voxy, Hook, Ray Day, and Hot Cheese. Where, 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 where do I rank him? I think I'll rank him. I think defense is pretty much uh, like the worst debuff because you don't really need to hit them hard. Um, Attack and speed are um, are more crucial, and also Hook is bad, and Hot Cheese is decent, but it's not enough to push him up. Okay, so basically his deal is one hit KOing the 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 opposing enemies. Unscrew, not even unscrew two, escape key, and water hose. I'm not a fan of water hose, and escape key is situational, and yeah. Um, um, Actually, actually, if this wasn't including random battles, then I'll probably whoop them in E tier. But I think since random battles are a thing, I guess I'll place him in B tier. But he is still very niche and mediocre. Okay, now what's the other ones? Go. Sorry. Okay, Golden Freddy, our first great tier. Um, um, so basically, if you want to beat bosses, use Golden Freddy because um, and he's like very great well for kind of well for the random battles as well because jump scare, raid 82, and haunting excellent moveset. He is a support character, but he is very good at what he does. Like haunting is completely broken, and well, Raid A2 does damage to them as well as lowering well the stats, and then jump scare is yeah very good. I highly recommend using Golden Freddy on your team. Crying Child, you already know where Crying Child is doing because here's the rule: if you have gift boxes, you are an automatic one-man the Tory tier. And he also does have some decent moves outside of gift boxes as well. Power Song and Armor Song, which are a bit underrated because Power Song can boost your can boost your power not by a lot, but Well, but it is kind of useful, and and armor song is actually very good, but don't use it against like one shot bosses because it won't work. Um, 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 I don't know if it'll work because I only play on hard mode. I don't play on normal mode. But yeah, the paper pals. Okay, so what word are we said again? Okay. So prize ball two, mystery box, and mimic ball. Okay. So mimic ball is so mimic ball just boosts them up immediately. And then they have prize ball, which is and prize ball, and prize ball two, which is very situational, and mystery box, which is just bad. I'm gonna boost you up to decent tier, um, be solely because of Mimic Ball. I, I think that's a fair tier placement. Night, a Nightmare Freddy, Bite 2, Sludge and Freddles. I mean, um, Bite 2 is, Bite 2 is okay. And Freddles, doesn't really do much. Um, Compared to Pizza Will, and he does have Sludge, which is a bit useful as well. So yeah, I think B is a fair tier replacement. Okay, so Nightmare Bonnie and Pizza Wheel 2. Sorry. Okay, so Pizza Wheel 2 and Rainy 2 and by 2. He's surprisingly great. Um, so yeah, Rainy 2, good move. And Pizza Wheel 2, which is also great, and Pizza Wheel. I meant Bite 2, which is pretty okay, but it's um but his other moves boost him up. Okay, so does Namajiga have Bite 2? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Bite 2, Bad Pizza, and um, um okay, so Bad Pizza, War Hose, and Bite 2. Okay, so Bad Pizza is actually kind of an underrated move in my opinion because it applies poison and does a decent chunk of damage. Um, well, Warhost 2, I've made clear I don't really use the move at all. And um, um, and Bite 2 is just not that great. Okay, so he has Unscrew 2, and wait a minute, let me check what his other moves are. I think 3 is Hot Cheese 2 and Bite 2. Yep, yep, I was right. Okay, so Hot Cheese 2 and Bite 2. He's boosted up silly because of Unscrew 2, because that can like delete enemies instantly. 50% chance. Okay, I'll put you in good tier. He has he has Ender Armory, which is a great move. And he has um, Power Song um, um, and Armor Song, which are also very great moves as well. I am putting you in A tier, another A tier. Um, okay, okay, yeah. So Speed Song, Neon Wall, and Endo Army. He is excellent. I 1000% recommend using him on your team. Endo Army is great. Speed Song is great, and Neon Wall is great. Okay, Plush Trap. what was his? I mean, again, okay, toxic by bad beats and sludge. Pretty disappointing moveset. I'll put him in the same tier as Nightmare Chica. I mean, Toxic Bite is decent, and Bad Beats is great, and Sludge is actually I'll put you here because debuffs and debuffs and Bad Beats. Yeah, can't underestimate that. Endoplush, he's the only character with whoops. He's the only character with Warhost 2, and he's the only character with Warhost 2, and he has Neon Wall, and he has Eye Beam. I mean, Endoplush kind of carried me um, in my randomizer uh, um, playthrough, which by the way, check that out because he was the only one on my team with Neon Wall. Even though I could have gone Neon Wall, I could have gone Neon Wall myself. I wanted to challenge myself, and yeah, I and yeah, if it wasn't for Endoplush, I would have lost that. I mean, not really. I could have just got the chip, but um, 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 but um, um, but yeah. And also, I even is kind of bad, and Warhost 2 can help. But yeah, he's mostly up there solely because of the neon wall. Anyway, what's the other ones? Nightmare. Okay, so Nightmare he is Toxic Bite 2, which is decent, and he has Raid 82, which is good, and he has a Megabyte, which is a bit average. I'll put you in I'll put you in A tier. He's one of the better characters. So Nightmare Fredbear. So basically, he is the same move set uh, except Toxify is swapped out for um well for Freddles. I guess he still has a bunch of Diggy moves. I mean you won't really miss Toxic Bites too. If if we're being honest, Spring Trap. Okay. I know he has Ring Locks, but I need to remind myself of his other moves. Bite two and Rainy Day. Okay, so he has Rainy Day, which is okay, but Springlocks is basically like the main reason why he's up here. And Bite 2 is basically just irrelevant because no Springlocks exists. As you know, he can debuff um, but Springlocks don't effect debuff. I mean, they can work for teams with support, I guess, but if you want to, use a debuffer, just use Golden Freddy or Phantom Freddy or other um or, other stuff. Oh yeah, he does have toxic bite. I basically um he does have toxic bite. I um 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 um, he basically just swaps out Ray Day too. Actually, now considering that I'm going to just drop him down to well because no debuffs. Okay, so um, he is haunting, he is mimic ball, he is gift boxes. What more do you want? Um, RxQ, RxQ, amazing. If you want to win, have him on your team. Funtime Roxy, you already know. S tier, Cosmic Song, gift boxes, and have PJM 2. Red Bear, um, okay, so Fredbear, he is Mimic Ball and which is good. Um, 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 and a Megabite which is average, and Regen Song which is awful. But um, despite a Megabite being average, it's one of the better damaging moves in the game. Um, um, Pre-update too. So yeah. Um, 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 if at least he like swapped a move with for Regen Song, he probably could have been A tier. But yeah. Spring Body, he's going in A tier. Um, 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 he's not going in S tier because he doesn't have gift boxes, and why why even use Spring Locks when you have um, Cosmic Song? Anyway, that's my tier list. I need to stop the recording because I am going to lose my voice and cough very hard. Anyway, bye, and yeah, see you in the next video.